Roller coasters have many things that make them worth riding, like having some incredible airtime moments, a unique feature like stand-up trains, or a launch. But one feature that can sometimes be brushed aside is a ride's theme. So in this video, I'll be talking about what theming is and how theme parks use it to their advantage. Of course, the ride's layout is ultimately the most important aspect of the ride. If a roller coaster doesn't have a layout, it simply doesn't exist. However, the theming a roller coaster has can really elevate the ride's experience. Roller coaster theming can be seen as a spectrum, ranging from no theme, probably built on a flat patch of concrete, basically Hero at Flamingo Land, to a few things that give the ride a certain vibe, like Sick, to rides so well themed it feels like you've entered a different world. But how do theme parks create theming? Theme parks can create a theme for their ride in many ways, like using audio, soundtracks, videos, smells, colour palettes, plants, theming pieces, near-miss moments, the roller coasters, trains, and sometimes even the track itself. A park can use a few of these things to create a general vibe for their ride, or use most of them to create a fully themed attraction that can immerse park guests in a theme or story. Roller coaster theming can be really easy to implement. It doesn't just have to be parks with a lot of money creating themed attractions. Since theming can be seen as more of a spectrum, if a park has a smaller budget to work with, they can create a slightly less immersive theme through audio, plants and colour palettes instead of spending a lot of money constructing near-miss elements and large-scale theming pieces. Universal parks, which are known for their theming, prove that you don't have to theme every aspect of a ride for it to be a well-themed experience. Hulk has a well-themed queue line and onboard audio that plays during the ride, but the ride itself doesn't really have any theming. There aren't any theming pieces that the ride interacts with, but it's still a well-themed attraction because of the queue line and the onboard sound. Now we've established what theming is and how it can be created, how can theme parks use theming to their advantage? Theming isn't just to make a ride look nice. A park can also use it to advertise their rides. Not only does the theming make a ride stand out and seem unique to potential visitors, if a park creates a story to go with it, guests can follow the story during its construction, become interested in the ride's theme as the park builds on it, which will make them want to experience the attraction when it opens. An example of this would be Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers. When the original Nemesis closed to be retracked, the park expanded on the ride's theme, giving the Phalanx more of a role in the Nemesis story. They spent time releasing videos about what the Phalanx were doing, and then introduced us to the newer design of the Nemesis alien to get everyone excited for Nemesis Reborn's opening. This kind of build-up got me excited enough to willingly spend 4 hours queuing for it on its opening day. Another ride at Alton Towers that featured a similar kind of build-up is the Smiler. During the ride's construction, there was a scare maze to start introducing people to the Ministry of Joy and the ride's general theme, and then the park released a 4-part series called Smile Always to keep building on the story. The Smiler also had a game released to build anticipation for the ride before it opened. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the Smiler's opening day because I was 5 years old, but if the Smiler opened today and had the same build-up as it did back then, I'd definitely be first in line to ride it. Theme parks can also use theming from their rides to create other attractions. I mentioned that the Smiler had its own scare maze, and a lot of rides at Alton Towers have had them too. The roller coaster theming at Alton Towers has given them the opportunity to create scare mazes based on their own attractions, which allows them to expand on the ride's theme and also means that the scare mazes are a lot more unique. You could find a scare maze about the zombie apocalypse at any old theme park, but you can only find a scare maze about Nemesis and the Phalanx at Alton Towers. A Nemesis-themed scare maze wouldn't make sense at any other park because Nemesis Reborn isn't at another park. Making a unique scare maze can attract more guests to the park because they know that they won't find another scare maze like it, and if the maze costs money to enter, the park will make a bit of extra money too. Theme parks can use IPs to attract more visitors to their park. Fans of the Saw franchise will probably want to go to Thorpe Park to ride Saw the Ride, just like how fans of the Jurassic Park movies will probably want to go to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure to experience Velocicoaster. Disney parks and Universal parks are incredibly popular because people who like the IPs the rides are themed to will visit the parks to ride them. These parks also have a lot of money to work with, so they're able to create really well-themed attractions and even entire areas. At Universal's Epic Universe, there's an area themed to Nintendo that is so well done it feels like you're actually inside one of the games. Ride theming or a certain style can be used to make two rides different, which is important for parks with a ride that has the same layout as another ride. Making their ride different to another park's ride could be the difference between someone coming to their park or going somewhere else. Sick at Flamingo Land and Colossus at Thorpe Park have the exact same layout, but are made different from each other by their style. They feature different colour palettes and music which sets them apart, with Colossus having vibrant blue track and a bright red train, while Sick has a colour palette made up of white, black and grey. Although rollercoaster theming isn't always essential, it can improve the overall experience and benefit the theme park that uses it. I personally think that theming should be added to more rides to make them more unique, even if the theming is as minimal as a consistent colour palette and some audio. If you think I missed anything, feel free to let me know in the comments, and if you're interested in theme park content, why not subscribe so you can be notified when I next upload. Thanks for watching, bye!